All right. Welcome to our 90s theme event today, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. We're going to have lots more people jumping on here with us, but we didn't want to leave you in silence, the Zoom silence where everyone is staring at one another. So welcome to our first virtual kickoff event. So thanks everyone so much for being here. I'm Meredith. I don't generally dress like I'm in the 90s, but I am today just for all of you. We're celebrating our 25th anniversary, as many of you know, and so we're throwing it back to 1995 when we started here in San Diego. So welcome. I just want to do a little shout out to a few of you who have been doing an outstanding job fundraising so far. Mary, Cheryl Ann, Beatrice, Jackie, Diana, Lori, Yvonne with Geico, Amy, Heidi, Maureen, Wendy, Sheila, Marilee, Gabriella, Lizzie, and Christine. So far you guys have been really rocking it with the fundraising efforts for our Race for the Cure this year. So thank you so much for supporting us and being a part of what we're doing. And I am going to give the microphone over to Marilee Neal, who is our board chair.
Hello all, so great to see you in Zoom land. Is everyone all dialed in to doing Zoom calls by now? Any newbies? I don't know, I can't see now, so we have the screen on, but as Meredith said, I'm Marilee Neal, and I'm the board chair for Susan G. Komen San Diego, and we are so thrilled to have you join us tonight as we kick off our signature event, the virtual Race for the Cure. And although this year's race won't look like years past, we're excited to continue the tradition of racing to fight breast cancer. So I do want to let everyone know that this session is being recorded so that we have the ability to share it afterwards. So if you're a little shy, you do have the ability to turn off your camera, but we sure hope you will stay visibly Zooming with us for this so that you can be a part of this celebration. I'm gonna just be real with what our lives have been like for the last 6 months and say, obviously the corona pandemic has changed so much in our lives. We've had to adjust almost every aspect of how we operate, from transitioning our mission delivery to more intuitive fundraising and re-envisioning our events. So Komen San Diego has stepped up to meet the challenges in this pandemic. And while COVID may have canceled many things in our lives, unfortunately, breast cancer isn't canceled. And we still need your support to fund the most critical needs of breast cancer patients. So at this time, I'd like to take just a moment to introduce our staff here at Komen San Diego. And first off, you saw her briefly, but I'd like to formally introduce Meredith Hall-Chand, our interim president and CEO. There's her like sweepy 90s wave there. And I would like to introduce Leah Brune, our events and volunteer manager. She's rocking that hairstyle there. Boy, I'm a little envious. See, she can even do the head bobbing. And Francisco Munoz, our development coordinator. Thank you, Francisco. I already told him how much I love that hat. It's my new favorite hat. And also would like to do a big shout out to Carla Lopez, our outreach and office manager. Thank you, Carla, for all of your support. I also, most importantly, really want to thank all of you. Without you, we would not be able to do any of this race, whether it's virtual or in person. So you've registered, you're participating, fundraising, and spreading the awareness. That's our mission, and that's how we do what we do. So it is supporters like you that help us make a difference in the lives of so many that are affected by breast cancer. And now I just want to take a moment real quick to let you know what we have done to pivot our mission delivery during the pandemic. So instead of canceling our virtual dinner, we made a monumental decision to transition the event to virtual. We were able to broadcast from a studio and provide viewers with a meaningful experience coupled with inspiring stories and entertaining performances. I'm sure many of you may have been a part of that, and we thank you for your support. And so in doing so, we were able to actually exceed our original fundraising goals. So I know a lot of times during the pandemic and during these times, people maybe might get a little discouraged about what we can do. And I say the sky's the limit. And Komen has really been there in the last how many months to show us the way. And now it's our turn with this race that we have the ability to do great things going forward. So, you know, on a more serious note, during the pandemic, many of our patients were put in financial hardships, maybe even some of you and your families as well. So we've increased our financial assistance to support more patients during this time in need. You may have read recently, we have partnered with Padres, Pedal for the Cause, Albertsons and Vons in a program called Groceries for Good. And we've been able to deliver free groceries to immunocompromised cancer patients. And in doing so, we've eliminated the need for these patients to put themselves at risk by going to the grocery store. I know that this has been many challenging things over the last few months, and I'm honored to really be a part of how much Komen has stepped up to do what we need to do for those that we serve. So now I'd like to introduce Leah. She's going to give us an overview about how we are racing virtually this year.
Hi everyone, I am excited to be here to share a lot of information on the logistics of race. And to register, you simply have to go to www.sdkomen.org/walk. And from there, you're going to see a pink register button that's going to take you to our dedicated race page where you can either start a team, rejoin a team, form a team, or register as an individual. So I'm sure we're all pretty familiar with that at this time. And I wanted to go over what we have in store for you on our race day. So we're thrilled to be able to still broadcast our message on our event day with our opening ceremonies. These will be beginning at 8:30 a.m., about the same time that we normally start. You won't have to get up as early to find parking this year though. And you'll be able to view this on our YouTube channel and social media platforms. We're going to have entertainment, a check-in on our fundraising to date, updates from top teams and sponsors, and more. And additionally, we partnered with Be Well Yoga to offer a free virtual yoga class afterwards around 10:30 that morning. And now I want to hand this off to Francisco that's going to offer some fundraising tips and tricks.
Thanks, so now we wanted to share a few tips and tricks for fundraising in this new virtual era. So first up, we have sharing your personal story. And this really is our #1 piece of advice for bringing your personal circles into our race community. We found that people are more inclined to donate or join your race team if they really understand your personal connection to breast cancer. So to give a personal example, my mom was actually diagnosed with breast cancer when I was 2 years old. She fought it for 6 years before it eventually metastasized to her lungs, and she passed away when I was 8. But up until a few years ago, I really didn't like sharing her story. I remember that I used to do birthday fundraisers on Facebook with very generic language, supporting the cause, but those never really raised too much money. So one year, I decided to get more personal and share that my mom had passed away just 1 week before my birthday. And because of that, I really didn't like celebrating as a kid. But now that I was older, I wanted to actually use my birthday to honor her memory and raise money so that other kids wouldn't feel what I felt when I was growing up. So that year, by sharing that story, I actually raised 10 times what I had raised the year before. And that, I think, it really is the difference that sharing your personal connection makes. All right, so now that I've poured my heart out a little bit, I'll move on to the next tip, which is to fundraise through a variety of mediums, whether that be email, social media, phone calls, or if you're old-fashioned like me, a personal letter. And if there are specific people that you would like to ask for support, I encourage you to think beforehand about the best way to reach out to them and also about the messaging that you want to use. For example, when I think about my own siblings, I know that my sister tends to make decisions based off of an initial feeling or emotion. So for her, I might look up a personal story of someone that Komen has recently helped, and then use that as a segue for asking her to donate to race. But my brother, on the other hand, he is more calculating and would want more details about Komen's programs. So for him, I would still share a personal story, but also share more about each program that we offer, and then exactly how many people receive support through those programs. And that, I think, would be enough to get him to donate. And then the last point that I'll make on that is to remember to invite everyone you can think of to donate or join your race team. People love to be included, and especially in this COVID era, people feel more disconnected than they ever have before, and they want to maintain that sense of community with their friends and family. So I just encourage you not to leave anyone out as you're thinking about who to ask to donate or join your team. And that kind of leads me on to the next point, which is when someone does donate to you or joins your team, make sure to send a personal thank you. I personally love sending handwritten cards. Everyone on our Komen team knows how much I love a card. But whatever your method is, just make sure that the person that you're thanking feels appreciated and they feel part of a larger group or community, working to advance our cause. And then the last 2 points I'll make are, one, to utilize our new Race 2020 Facebook group to hear from our team and others in the race community about their own personal tips and tricks. And always feel free to share your own as well. And you can find the link to that group from posts on our Facebook page, or you can just reach out to us directly and we'll make sure that you can get an invite to that group. And then second, make sure to download and use the Komen Race app on your phone. The app makes it really easy to connect your fundraiser to Facebook, send messages to people, and also track your progress. And so for that, I'll turn it back to Leah to do a deep dive into the app.
Thanks. So since we can't be together physically this year, leading up to and on race day, we have upgraded our app to be that touch point for you. So I want to take you all through all of the new features on the app, and we can follow along on the slides here. So we'll go to the first slide that will show you our homepage. So these are snapshots of what the homepage look like. It's scrolling down. So the first one is our badges that you can collect for accomplishing different challenges. You can look at videos on research or accomplish a fitness challenge. And you'll want to just continue collecting these badges as we move towards race day. The next thing that you'll see is your fundraising progress. Oh, no, still back on that last page. It's the second image. So on your fundraising progress, you're going to see I've set my fundraising goal to be $250. I've reached zero of that goal, and tomorrow I'm going to hit the ground running with that. And so that's just your snapshot there. Right below that, you can start tracking any of your fitness challenges. So there you can start, and that's where your app is linked up to your fitness tracker on your phone. And a little bit below that on the next image here on this same slide is your activity that you've accomplished to date. And that's all your steps and how many times that you've walked. So this year, since we're not able to be together in person on race day, we're just going to continue walking from now until race day. And then you were able to see our total activity as a community. So all of San Diego's steps and how many times we've walked and how many people on teams have been participating is right there in that snapshot. We can go to the next slide. So the menu for the app is on the bottom, and you'll see the first menu item is your send messages. With that, you're going to have your fundraising messages, and these are just conversation starters that you can send to people through different platforms, either through text messages, through social media, or through email. And it's just a conversation starter like, help me get to my next goal, or I'm almost there, you can help me close this and reach my fundraising goal. So those are the types. And then on the second image here, you can see the different avenues that you can reach out to people. So we've got WhatsApp, LinkedIn, text messages, Twitter and Facebook and the like. The third image here is going to show you the pre-scheduled messages that you can send out. And these are messages that you can set and forget. So you can say, every Tuesday, I want to send out a message to all of my connections. And then if you select any of these, then it automatically takes you through just progressing through who do you want it to go to and how do you want to reach out to them. We can go to the next slide. So the second menu item down there at the bottom is your fundraise menu item. And that's just going to give you a snapshot of where you are towards your fundraising goal. If you want to, you can check in with that every once in a while if you've linked it up to your Facebook and you might have people fundraising on your behalf, just to check in on your app. And then if you want to reach out to anyone, that black box right underneath the total will take you back to the send messages menu item page. And then that's where you can start reaching out to people. In the same vein of this menu page, you can also enter donations. So it gives you an option to enter them with a credit card. You can enter by check by taking images of the check, or by just a manual enter of a cash donation. Next slide. My favorite page of the menu is your edit pages. And this is where you get to personalize everything. So as you can see here, I've uploaded images of my personal app. This is the photo that I have on my app. Right below that is your personal fundraising link. So if you're texting somebody and telling them that you're trying to fundraise and they want to donate to you, you can just log into your app, copy this link, and go back to your text messages and just paste it in there. Or you can just forward that from any of your send messages as well. Right below that is your personal story. This has been auto-populated by the app, but you can go in there and edit it to upload why you want to fundraise and why you raise. The second image here is a really fun addition that we've added, which is filters. And that is where you upload or you take a photo and you have all of these additional stickers and overlays that you can add in. Here you see I've added in a fun photo of my brother and I. You can change it, you can add in a pink overlay to it, you can put a frame on it like I have here, and then on the next slide you'll see the finished product when you download it. Ta-da! Next slide. So the last menu item down at the bottom is the Get Active, and that's something that we've added this year, which is tracking your steps. So you can see right now I'm about 7,000 steps, which is about a 5K right now, a little over a 5K. We're asking everybody to set your own personal challenge. And if you have a fitness tracker on your phone, this will link up to that and it will track these walks for you. You can see I've done 3 walks to date, and that's where I stand. And that if you, at the bottom of that first page, it'll show you where you stand in the rankings for everyone in San Diego. And then there's also a team ranking. So it'll show where the teams rank as far as steps go. If you toggle over to my challenges, you'll also see any of your challenges that go back to those badges that you can collect on the home page. So if you want to do a 5-day challenge or an 8-day challenge, just to see how many steps you can get into those days, that'll show up on the badges that you collect on your home page. And we can go to the next slide. Just like every other app, it has a settings, and I just wanted to point this out. If it ever disconnects from your fitness tracker, in your settings is where you can reconnect that, where it says resync activity. And then also this is where you're going to select your social channels and link up all of your different social channels, your LinkedIn, your Facebook, and your emails and texts, to where you can automatically send those messages from the app. Next slide. And since this is all new, I know it's a lot for everyone to take in. We will be more than happy to assist you. So if you would like any assistance, just throw your name and your contact information in the chat box over to your right, and we'll be sure to follow up with you. And now we're going to have a memorial video for our 2020 Race for the Cure honoree, Sandra Lopez.
I'll take a few minutes.
Thank you, Leah, for that beautiful tribute to my sister, Sandra. When my sister Sandra was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer in December of 2008, she never wanted us to feel sorry for her. Although the breast cancer invaded her body, she never allowed the cancer to control her mind or her life. Exhibiting strength and courage, Sandra was a true warrior and inspiring in so many ways. This November, it would have been Team Lopez's 12th year walking in honor of my beautiful sister, Sandra. I created Team Lopez in 2009 as a way to thank Komen for Sandra's mammograms since she didn't have any medical insurance at the time. For over a decade, Team Lopez has worked to come together as a family and give back to Komen San Diego and the community. With over 100 teammates annually, Team Lopez grew to be the largest non-corporate team in the race for the cure. After every walk, Sandra felt re-energized to continue to fight. We got 12 more years with my sister due to advancements in breast cancer care, and I know the next generation won't have to say goodbye like we did. This year, we will honor Sandra, my sister. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carla, for sharing your story and Sandra's story with all of us. As Carla shared, Sandra didn't have insurance when she was first diagnosed with breast cancer. And due to COVID-19, many people are afraid to go into the hospital systems and get screened. So one of our big pushes this year, especially in the month of October, when all eyes are on breast cancer, is to encourage those who may be afraid to go into the hospital systems to make sure that they are screened, that they continue to do their annual screenings, and that the hospital systems are safe. One of the other things that Carla mentioned, Komen San Diego supported Sandra with is our financial assistance program. I want to share a story with you of Kelly, who received assistance from Komen last year, and when COVID hit, it really hit her hard. We just visited with Kelly over the weekend, and she just opened her business, her shop up, a brand new shop up on Saturday, actually, and she's an esthetician. When she was diagnosed with breast cancer and she began treatment, she became so sick from the chemotherapy that it was really, really hard for her to work. And she became very ill and had to stay in the hospital for some time because of how ill the chemotherapy treatment made her. So she came to Komen for some financial assistance, and we supported her with rent. And fast forward months later, and Kelly needed some support again. COVID hit, and she was unable to run her business, and she was still going through some treatment. And so Komen stepped in again and supported her. Thanks to people like Carla, who were there for her during her journey, and Lizzie, who's on right now, Lizzie Wittig, who was there for her as a listening ear, as someone who was a friend to her, who supported her and was kind to her and loved her and helped her with anything that she could. It's stories like Kelly, which is the reason why we walk every year. So what we want to do with our community is encourage our community members to continue to walk. That just because we can't be in Balboa Park together this year, that we still create the momentum that we have as a community, and we walk in our neighborhoods, or we walk on our treadmills at home, or we walk in a park. So for folks like Kelly, who now she says, hey, I don't need any more help. I'm good to go. I'm opening my business back up, and I'm healthy, I'm happy, and she's in remission right now. So it's the folks like Kelly that we're here for, and we continue to do the work of this organization and the work of our mission. So I thank each of you for being there for people like Kelly, who really need us right now. And I'll turn it back over to I think, Leah to talk more about how else to get, to make sure everybody gets involved. Is that right,
I
Leah?
want to just ask, yes, thank you. I want to just ask everyone to register today if you haven't already. It is free to register this year since we're doing a virtual race. And don't forget to join our private Facebook group to stay up to date on all things race and connect with your fellow race participants. Also, don't forget to check in to see if you're close to reaching that next incentive goal. We have pooled our resources with our headquarters network to bring all of our participants higher quality prizes this year. And here's what you can expect. We have anybody that registers by September 27th will receive an early activation pink stretch bracelet. And also any team captain that your team raises $1,000 or more will receive the cotton baseball cap. At the $250 level, we have the crossbody sling bag. And at the $500 level, we have the engraved tumbler. We have cotton duffel bag and the velvet Sherpa. And then we've got some more clothing items at the $2,500, the $5,000, and the $10,000 fundraising level. And those, the long sleeve items are both North Face, so they're very high quality and great items to have as we go into our cooler months. And now I want to hand it over to Francisco. It's time to give away some giveaways for this virtual event that we have.
So I went ahead and randomly picked 2 people from the list of people who had registered for the event to get the Sycuan staycation, which includes a free night at Sycuan Casino Resort, as well as a dinner there at the resort. So our first winner today is Nora Sandoval. And then our second winner is Maureen Minder. And for our two winners, our team will reach out to you directly with how to pick up your prize. Back to you, Leah.
Thank you, Francisco. And congratulations, Nora and Maureen. And so we wanted to spend a bit of time with you folks, which is the remainder of our time here together, and invite you to stay on with us with questions that you have, anything that we can help with. I know there was some in the chat box here about, where do I find this app, and some other questions. So we will send out a follow-up email, but if there are things that we can chat with you about here today while we're online, feel free to stay on with us. If you've got to get and run to other things, we thank you for hanging out with us and spending your evening with us, and I hope that this was helpful for you. So you can jump off if you'd like to, but our staff will remain on for you, as well as our board chair. And we'll just open the floor up.
I got the video off. Who's that? Who's that?
And if you want to speak, you can unmute your phone in the, I'm sharing my screen right now, but in the bottom half of your screen, there's a mute button, and you can unmute that to be able to talk. I don't think I saw anybody's mouths moving, but perhaps somebody was trying to talk.
I have a question, Meredith. I don't know if you can see me. This is Mary.
I can see you, Mary.
Okay, hi. Thank you for putting my picture up with my daughter, by the way. That was very cool.
Oh, you're welcome.
Anyway, yeah, she usually walks with me every year and has been since the beginning, which is like almost 20 years ago. But that being said, I've been walking through this whole COVID thing 5 days a week, 4.5 miles a day. So I don't have a tracker on my phone. Do I need to do that in order to count my miles that I'm walking?
Yeah, Leah, can you answer that question about the tracker? Maybe if Courtney Beck's still on, she might be able to answer questions about that too, if it's too technical.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, we're just asking people just to walk. And so it's just a personal goal. If you
Okay.
wanted to just track it yourself and then just share it through any Facebook group, that's totally fine as well. So if you don't have a phone that you're tracking it on, I wouldn't worry about it. But we
Okay.
definitely want to just get that sense of community. And since we aren't able to walk together, just maybe continue to walk instead.
Okay, so should I put the SGK app on my phone so that I can enter this information, or?
Oh yeah, that would be great. That would be
Yes.
a great alternative.
Okay, that way you can keep track of what the miles people are walking. That's what I was thinking just now. I didn't realize you were already doing that. I thought we had to wait until the day of the race to do the charting the miles. So yeah, okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
Every day
And if you
5:30, I'm out walking. Think of me.
you're at the top of the leaderboard there, Mary.
Probably. I've been walking over 22 miles a week.
That's awesome.
Well, after you download the app, then you can backlog all of your miles.
Yeah, Mary, there's Map My Walk is a good app, or if you have a Fitbit, they have a tracking device on that now.
Yeah, I don't have a Fitbit. What's the other one?
I use Map My Walk.
Map My Walk? Okay.
Right. And you start it, it tracks where you went, how far you went, and everything. So.
Okay. Yeah, you know what I did before I started walking this route is I took my car and drove it, and I could write down how many miles it was.
When I did the 3-day, I used to use that just to figure out where to go and map my walk. But now I kind of know.
Okay.
I used the clown, by the way, and the pink puffy hair, so I know what paints the big ribbons.
Okay.
Is that
Thanks for
I
being
didn't
here,
have pink
Maureen.
ribbons this year, so.
The other question I had was you had mentioned something in one of the emails we got about a drive-by pickup goodie bag. What is that?
Yeah, so on October 5th, we're going to have a little socially distanced drive-through, if you will. So we're inviting anybody signed up with Race to come out. You can deck out your cars if you want to. You can deck out yourselves if you want to. Just to get into the spirit, bring people together, but still keep everyone really safe. And we're going to create some goodie bags for you guys, and we just want to pop them in your trunk or in your back seat, and we'll stay, we'll make sure we're all wearing face coverings and staying 6 feet apart, especially for our community. It's really important that we do that.
Yeah.
But we just want to do a little something to say thank you to all of you who have been so supportive of our organization. So we wanted to come up with something fun, but also easy to do. So we're going to have some live music playing. We're going to have our Komen pop-up shop available, so you can, purchase any merchandise. But also we'll probably have some t-shirts and some things that will be put in those goodie bags as well. So we'll try to do a few different things and do some really cool giveaways from sponsors and whatnot, and just make sure that everyone really feels, like we're getting together.
Yeah. So that's, you have to register for that, right?
That'll be Monday, October 5th. And we did send out a save the date, but Leah, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we would like people to RSVP just so we know how many goodie bags to make. So it's not necessarily a register and you have to come, but we just want to have a good idea so we're prepared.
Okay, I still need to do that then. I'll have to go back through my emails and find that one. But thank you. I'm just grateful to be here. Mine was a stage 3 17 years ago, and I'm still here. So this gives me a chance to celebrate every year.
Yeah, and I like the shirt you're wearing.
Recognize that?
That's awesome. Thank you for wearing that.
Yeah.
The other thing too, Mary, this might interest you, is we'd love to feature you guys on our social media. If you have pictures over the years from Race, especially going back to the beginning, email those to us. We'd really like to share with our, our followers on Instagram and Facebook, and make sure that people see exactly who our community members are. So if you have some of those, send them over to us, and we'll get those featured. We're going to do kind of 10 days leading up to race, and we want to put as many pictures of our community members out there, and that really makes people feel part of a community. So we want to make sure we do that. So send them over.
I'll tell my daughters to bring their shirts. They have some really cool shirts that they had made as well, and they've walked with me. The one daughter has walked with me from the beginning, but then I started adding the rest of my family. Then I had a team. But yeah, maybe we'll all wear our shirts and take another picture and send it to you. Who do I send it to?
You can send it to me or Leah or Francisco, any of us.
Okay.
Whoever's email address you have, you send it there and we'll get it.
Okay. Okay.
Do you want us to, and we can put our emails in the chat box if that would be helpful for you guys.
Oh, I think I saved the email. I'll just go back and find it.
Yeah, we want to encourage anybody that has any photos, please feel free to share those with us. We want to highlight over the years. So it'd be really nice to just have a big pool of photos to draw from.
Okay. I'm sure I have a ton. The other thing I wanted to tell you is that our church has the only family cancer support ministry in the Diocese of San Diego. And I'm one of the leads. We've been doing it for like 10 years. And right now we have 2 women actively fighting breast cancer, and one who had breast cancer 12 years ago and now just went through treatment for endometrial cancer. So it's an active ministry. We always have new people. And I encourage them all to do this, by the way. I encourage them to do the virtual race.
Awesome. There have been some questions about t-shirts. I do want to chat about that a little bit. So if you are a survivor and you're registered as a survivor, so you do have to say that you are a survivor or a thriver, you will receive a t-shirt. You'll either receive a pink shirt for survivors or a plum color shirt for thrivers. And thrivers in our community mean those who are living with metastatic breast cancer. So that's the difference between those 2 shirts. The gray shirt that you typically get at Race for the Cure every year, that's part of your registration fee. You have to raise $100 to get that shirt. But again, if you're a survivor or thriver, you'll get that pink shirt or that plum shirt for free. And then if you're not a survivor or thriver, or if you fundraise for $100 or more, you'll get that gray shirt that most people really become a collector's item. We will also have our medals this year. So we're going to have a packet pickup for folks to pick up those t-shirts, and also the survivor medals. So we'll have those.
Would that be before or after the race?
That'll be before the race.
Okay.
We want to save the cost of mailing to people, so we're going to ask people to do pickups as much as possible. As you can imagine, Race for the Cure this year is going to look very different, and our fundraising is not going to get to those goals that we typically see year after year. So we want to make sure that we're really prudent with our fundraising dollars, and as much as possible encourage people to come and pick up those t-shirts and those medals. But those will be available this year, and we'll make sure to get those to you. The other thing we're going to have available are yard signs, and you'll see an email from Leah about this. But if you're interested in those are for purchase, and you can put those yard signs in your yard, basically to tell people that you're a top fundraiser, that you're a supporter of Komen. That's a fun way sometimes for people to, you could do a drive-through fundraising like people are doing for their birthdays if you wanted to, and put those, signs in your yard. So trying to come up with some fun ways to still get people pumped about race, even though it's going to be a little bit different than usual.
Yeah. Are you going to do the shirt pickup at your headquarters or at at the sports?
We're going to have it at Yeah, our office on Murphy Canyon Road or up
Okay.
north where we usually have it at In Motion, our race headquarters.
Oh, at In Motion, not at the running
So
store.
we'll have it in 2 locations, one in
Okay.
each location so that people don't have to travel too far either way.
You mean Roadrunner?
Right.
Yeah,
It's not
Roadrunner's
gonna be
where I usually go.
yeah, it's not going to be a Roadrunner this year, unfortunately. You know,
That's too
Roadrunner-
bad, they're close.
Yeah, they're closed, and you know we can't encourage people to go into the stores together. So we want to do as
Yeah.
much social distancing as possible. So
Okay.
as of
Right,
right
right.
now, unless we find somewhere that's safe, it'll be at our office and In Motion, which is up north.
Okay.
Where's the drive-by parade going to be? Is that going to be Liberty Stationary or Balboa Park or?
So the drive-through is
Right.
going to be at our building on Murphy Canyon.
Okay, so that's not far.
Yeah.
Okay.
The parking lot is empty, so we can use it.
Nobody else is
Liberty
there.
Station, too. That's a good place too. Liberty Station's nice. A nice area to do it at too.
Yeah.
So Meredith, I just have a quick question.
Yes.
So is there a cutoff date for registration in order to have everything prepared for t-shirt pickup?
Yeah, we'll announce that. Typically, it's typically about 5 days before we do the pickup, just so that we can get everything stuffed. It takes us a little while to do, you know, all of that legwork. So we really try, and I think Yvonne, are you with Geico?
I am.
Okay, I thought so. So you would be probably picking up the big, probably a big box. So yeah, if we can get people registered, you know, I would say a week before would be fabulous, but we can probably do some last minute things a couple days before. But we typically try to do all of that work, you know, about 5 days before and make sure that it's all set. But we'll have actual dates as we always do. And those will be on our website as well. That's a resource. So you can go there to look at all of the dates, and we'll make sure our website is, you know, continually updated.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, and you were
Other
saying that
questions?
there's no charge to sign up anymore.
It's free.
Okay,
It's free to race this year.
okay.
Well,
I'll
October
see if I
1st.
can get some more people to do that.
The drive-by's on October 5th.
October 5th, that's correct.
That's on Monday, right?
Yes, it's on a Monday.
Okay.
Can you tell me the time again for that? Was it 5 o'clock?
5 to
Yes.
I believe it's, Leah, say that one more time.
Oh, it's 5 to 7. So there's
Oh,
a
perfect.
5 to
good
7
chunk of time
p.m.
that we'll be out there. So just try to make it in between those times.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you, ladies. I know you've been working really hard on this.
You're so welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. And we'll see you one way or another on the screen or driving by and waving.
I just wanted to say thank you because I'm one of the people who get the groceries. And
Oh,
I was diagnosed 3 years ago with stage 3 breast cancer, and they went into my lymph nodes, so they did lumpectomy and took out lymph nodes. And then this past year, I came back, so they did a mastectomy, and I had to do the chemo for a year this last time. And I just want to say thank you because when I first got it, you guys did help me with my rent and a lot of things like that. So I just want to thank you guys for everything that you do.
well, you're so welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us and joining us today and being part of what we're doing. Really, really appreciate you.
Yeah, I would do a lot with you guys, so it's going to be kind of sad not to do it this year. Well, I'm still going to do it, but it's not with everybody. Just me and my mom. So,
You and your mom?
huh? Yeah, just me and my mom.
You and your mom? Good.
Mhm. Yeah. So I really appreciate everything that you guys do. Really helps out.
Well, it's really nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Meredith, I did have one additional question.
Sure.
Do you have any suggestions on what like corporations or big companies can do to kind of help support? Because I know you know, Geico, we're a huge, you know, we do the sponsor and we do a lot with fundraising. And this year, obviously, it's been a struggle to try to get our associates involved. Individually, I participate in the 3-day, you know, for years, but obviously, you know, we're not doing the 3-day this year. So I did do a Facebook fundraiser and I raised almost $1,000. So I did a birthday fundraiser. It actually worked out, I think, because people knew that I wasn't doing the 3 days. So I was like, I wanted to consistently just do something, but you know, I'm just having a struggle with trying to get more participation, number one, and then, you know, donations, number two. I got to get the participation first, and then I can get the donations. But I just feel like I'm struggling with trying to figure out, you know, creative ways that our company can continue to do that and support the cause.
Yeah, that's a great question. As you know, Geico and other companies have been hit incredibly hard this year, and nonprofits, you know, we're companies too, and we've been hit as well. Sponsorships have been down quite a bit with many of our companies, and unfortunately, you know, because we can't get together, our companies can't be out there and be present with us, and that's a big driver for us to be able to get together and share with the community. So I think a couple of things. Number one, you're doing amazing. You're at like the top of the list here. You're placed right now, you're at like number 5 right now on our, so you're doing amazing. You're doing just really, really great work. So what you're doing is working, I would say. You're doing a fabulous job. I think Francisco, you know, when he talked about how he's gotten some donations, you know, it's really about his own personal story and sharing that personal story. So if you have that personal story to share, the other thing too is to share someone else's story that, you know, who you want to support, who has gone through breast cancer or is currently going through breast cancer. So definitely sharing stories is a big way that people really, really get engaged with us. I can tell you that most of our fundraising is because of the fact that our friends tell their friends, and then we make more friends, and we really build our community that way. And then finally, you know, we can give you kind of the nitty gritty, but you know, we provide a lot of services here in San Diego and all throughout the United States, and that's not something that's necessarily talked about. We do fund a lot of research, you know, throughout the nation and worldwide, but we do a lot of services and programs for women, men, and their families here in San Diego.
Exactly, that's the kicker.
And I think that when I share that with people, they're a little bit surprised. They say, oh, I thought all you guys did was, I thought it was just for research. And I say, no, you know, we help with a mammogram if somebody needs help, and we help with, you know, rent assistance, and we have a, you know, grocery delivery program that we just started because of COVID. And so, you know, yes, we do the, you know, the foundational pieces of research and of advocacy work, because those are important pillars of our work, but we're also boots on the ground. And I think that sometimes gets lost in translation with our name and our brand, that we're not as, that we're not just about research, and we're not just about advocacy, but we're about the patient, you know, that patient experience, and making sure that our funding is going to helping those who are in the greatest need, and especially right now.
Yeah. Thank you. That's very helpful.
That's why I've been doing this race for so many years, because you help people right here in our community.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so that's all the questions I have. So I'm going to say bye for now, and I'll be looking for maybe doing that drive-by, and for any more information about picking up shirts and that kind of stuff.
Awesome.
See if I can get my other kids to do it too.
Bye. Look forward to seeing
Thank you.
Anybody else? Do you have any more questions for us? Or I know it's a lot to digest, so we're here. You know, any point in time you need us, you can, you know, pick up the phone, Like Leah said, we're happy to walk through the app with you, answer questions, get on calls, conference calls, you know, one-on-one, whatever would be helpful for your journey. You know, that's what we're here for, is to be support to all of you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.